We're going to get started in a couple of seconds. Y'all going to send this link out. Then we're going to go ahead and get started. What's going on, y'all? What's going on? All right. What's going on, y'all? What's going on? So we had a pretty good day yesterday as well. So we got some news going on. Some news just went down, but we also got like 2 more red folders going on for the USD later today as well as tomorrow, I believe. So we're just going to be watching to see how that affects the markets. But just looking at the bigger screen and the bigger picture, we could still see that we are in an uptrend. It's just a retracement. We're on top of this level of price right here. A strong level of price. So we could either pop back up and head towards the daily zone again, or we could come back down to the daily zone around 33,000. So we're going to see how price reacts to that level. I still mainly want to look for a buy setup. I mean, unless it breaks through this daily level, then we see how it reacts to that. Then it might change, or I might change my mind. But for now, still going to look for a buy setup. Makes sense why we retrace though realistically, because we hit this daily zone. We can clearly see that there's a huge wall here. Last time price hit this level, harsh rejection down, and then the time right before that, harsh rejection down. So it is very likely that we could see the same thing repeat itself. So we're just going to have to see how the news affects the markets and how price reacts to this level right here. So for now, I'm just going to be chilling. Not going to really mess with this. Just like yesterday, didn't really want to mess with it. Just left it alone. Now NAS100 looks a little bit different though, because we can see on NAS100 how overall we're still in a downtrend. So we might be looking for a sell setup or a buy setup, depending on how price reacts to the daily zone here at around 10,700-ish. So we're going to see how price reacts to that level, because that looks like the nearest level is going to go to if it continues to go down. And last time price hit this level, we see how price shot up. Even last time price hit here, shot up, but then it hit this strong. Let me get rid of these lines. Give me 1 second. Get rid of this one too. There we go. But we see price at the strong level of support resistance here. We see a strong resistance level, strong support level here, and then strong resistance. As soon as price hit that level, it rejected back down. So we're just going to wait for price to come down to the daily zone, see how it reacts to the daily zone, and then just go from there. But for now, we're just going to be chilling. Probably not going to mess with these until either the red folder news comes out or whatever comes first, red folder news, or until I see ideal setup when price comes to one of those levels. And that's pretty much for the indices, the same thing. Everything's the same. SPX is dropping down as well. All of them look very similar. So this one could either react off this next level here at around 3720, or it could come down to the daily zone at 3675-ish. So we're just going to wait to see how price reacts. Right now we see price retesting, but we do have a huge imbalance here, so it could very much so depending on how the news affects it, either come back up to the daily zone, then drop, or it could just come back down to the daily zone down here. So we're just going to wait and see how price reacts. So for now, we're just going to be watching the indices, not really going to do much with them for now, because they're all, again, doing the very similar things. See US30 underneath this 4-hour support resistance level. So we're just going to let them do their thing for now. So we're probably going to just focus currency pairs again today, just like yesterday. And then go from there. But US30 looks a little bit different from the other pairs. We can see this one was very bullish. Didn't have such a huge retracement like the USD pairs. So what I like to see from US30 is very similar. Either wait for a buy here at this daily zone, or if it breaks back above here, look for a possible buy setup there. But still going to wait to see how price reacts when this news comes out. Oil, we caught a nice sell on oil. I called this play out in the free selling room yesterday. We caught a nice play. It retraced after it hit the zone, but I went over this with the members. So if any members were either in the New York live stream yesterday or watched the trade breakdowns that I dropped during the day, before New York session, during New York session, all that stuff, you could have re-entered right here and then caught the wave back down. New Zealand JPY did a very similar thing as well. If we go to New Zealand JPY, and I went over both of these with the members yesterday, hit this level, retraced back up, right back to our entry, then dropped all the way back down. So you could have either held the whole move, or you could have got wicked out here, re-entered at the back of our entry, then rolled the entire wave down. So the full move here was a 1-3 risk to reward, but I personally closed about right here. Then I re-entered here, and then rode the wave back down. So I made double off the same trade. Same thing with oil. Entered right here, closed at the bottom of the zone, re-entered here, rode the wave down. So for oil, we're just going to see how it reacts to this daily zone here. I believe we have some news going on for oil as well. So we're just going to let that do its thing. It's not really at a good entry. Just going to wait for price to come to one of my key levels. Now for gold, we're going to remove all these lines because we don't really need these right now. And then we got about like 13 minutes until the lending session starts. So we're going to hop on some currency pairs in a second. I just want to go over the indices on gold real quick. Gold's currently chilling right underneath the strong 4-hour support resistance level. We can see how support level here, and we see how it's currently being respected as resistance. So price is either going to break back above it, or what it looks like now, we can see price drop down to the daily zone at a 1697-ish, 1696. So we could see that happen. Then we could possibly look for a buy setup there because we do have this huge imbalance we do have to keep in mind about. So we're just going to really see how price reacts off this level, and then when it hits that daily zone. But we can see the previous, like about 30 minutes ago, price did a drop. Now it's retesting this level. Now, depending on how it reacts to this level, we could possibly look for a sell setup. Fix that. And change the color on that. Try to go for a sell on silver, but it retraced on us. Then the move completed itself. So we just entered a little bit too early or too late, whichever way you want to look at it. We called a silver trade, reversed on us, hit our stop loss, then dropped all the way back down. Does happen sometimes, but that was the only loss we took yesterday. I'll pull that up in a second. I just want to look at these pairs real quick to see what's going on. So this is Euro USD. It's right on top of the daily level. Retested off this 4-hour zone. You see as soon as it hit it, you see the rejection wave bringing it right back down to the daily zone. So we're just going to see how it reacts off the daily zone. It's most likely going to move similarly as the indices, where I mean by similarly is like if it's pumping up, this is most likely going to pump up. If it's dropping down, it's most likely going to push down. As we can see, the indices are pushing down, gold is slightly pushing down, and we have Euro USD doing the same thing, which is really not a coincidence. So we're about to pull up a smaller time frame just so we can take a better look at this. So as we see here, we were riding this wave up, caught buys here, caught buys here, caught buys here. Now prices drastically dropping down. Like I said, strong support level can turn to a strong resistance. We see as soon as price broke underneath, it retested and dropped down. So we could possibly see a retest here and a drop down. So we could try to ride the wave down the daily zone, to the daily zone, I should say, if price shows that it wants to do so. But again, we're just going to wait. We're not going to rush anything. We have about 10 minutes till London session starts. But if we can catch this move, and if it looks good, this could be about a 1 to 3, 1 to 4 risk to reward trade setup. But we have to wait for price to break underneath this level and show it wants to come down. Could reverse after it hits this level here, 32,490-ish. But if it keeps on dropping down to the daily zone like it's been doing, retracing off that imbalance off the daily and the 4 hour, then we could see price come down to this level right here, down to the daily zone. So we're just going to keep an eye on that and see how price reacts. Then we're going to go from there. So just going to keep an eye on those. Let's go back to gold. Same thing. We could possibly look for a sell downwards. I don't know if I'm going to like the risk to reward though. Let's see. It's almost 1 to 2. So we'll just keep an eye on this. But this one I'm looking at for the gold, US30. Let's see. Possibly do the same setup on GBPJPY. I mean, that's SPX, my bad. But that's what I'm looking at for now. Again, those are just trade ideas. I'm not entering any of these yet. Just want to see how they react. And of course, want to see how the next 15-minute candlestick looks like before we jump into anything. But as you can see, looking very similar to gold and US30. Did a nice drop down. We see a nice drop down. We see a retest. And we see a nice formation that can show us that it can potentially keep pushing down. Of course, it has to break this level before I even consider entering this trade. Personally. But if we can break down past that level, then we can see a potential sell setup. Just depends how long it takes to do it. If it takes a little bit of time for it to break those levels, then I'm probably just going to leave it alone until after the news comes out. But if it can make its move beforehand, then I might jump in it. EJ's really just been chilling right here. Hasn't really been moving much. It's been really ranging, stuck at the top of the zone here. A little bit different of a week for EJ. Euro New Zealand's been climbing up. It is at this 4-hour level. So if it breaks above here, we could look for a possible buy setup here. Or if it reverses down, then it's most likely going to head back towards this 4-hour level here at around 69. What's that say? 86, 69.90. As we can see, as soon as price touched it, we see it currently rejecting that level, which is why I have that marked off. And then when we go on a smaller time frame, we can see it's doing that in real time. Hit that level, next couple candlesticks rejecting and dropping back down. So we're going to see how the next candlestick looks like for all of these. But there's only a few currency pairs that kind of got my attention that we're going to be paying attention to. So I'm going to see how EuroCAD reacts to this level right here. It's right on the daily zone. Broke above it, is retesting it now. So we want to see if it's going to respect this level or if it's going to do what it did here, 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 and here, if it's going to reject back down. So we're going to see how it's going to react to this level. So far, it's broken above it. So far, it's treating it as a support level. So we're going to see how that candlestick closes. Euro AUD, we called this play out yesterday. Called this in the free Telegram. So if you're not in the free Telegram, make sure to click that first link in the description. Took a little while, played games a little bit, hit like TP1, TP2, then played games, range, still respected the daily zone, which was most important. Then, after it retested the daily zone, that thing exploded up broke this level, struggling to break, as we can see from these wicks here, then started treating it as a support level. And now we're just have a nice staircase up, and we're deep in profit, which is why you just got to be patient. If it didn't hit SL, there's no reason to be looking at the trade, wondering what's going on this time and third, because you do your analysis and all that before you enter a trade. Put your stop loss, put your TPs. You just let the charts do what they do. So we don't control the markets. We can't make price do something in a certain amount of time, or just because it did it at this amount of time one time doesn't mean it's going to do it like that every time. Things like that. So it's very important to keep that in mind. We don't control the markets, and just to be patient. Just let the charts do what the charts do, because you staring at the charts ain't going to make the charts move any quicker. It's just going to make you start overthinking stuff and possibly make a mistake. What about SPX? I just went over that. I don't know if you said that before I went over it, but what about SPX? So GN, we caught a sell on GN. This was a members only play, but it hit all the TPs. Then once it hit the 4-hour zone, broke past it a little bit more, then reversed back up. So it looks like it's about to try to fill up this imbalance on the daily, but we do see this level right here, how it is rejecting this level, which again is not a coincidence, because when we zoom in, we can see that it did at the previous daily candlesticks as well, 1 time, 2 times, 3 times. So it's not a surprise price is doing the same thing again. So we're going to see how price reacts to that level. If it stays above the daily zone, we could see it potentially come all the way back up to the daily zone here. So we are going to have to look out for that, because then when we zoom out, we can clearly see that this daily level is a strong support resistance level. If I can click it, there we go. You can clearly see how it's a strong resistance level, strong support, harsh rejection down, resistance level. Then currently it's being treated as a resistance level. It just broke above it. So we want to see if we can respect that as a support, and then see what the candlestick looks like after that to determine if we want to go for a quick buy setup, or just stay out the charts, or stay out of the pair, I should say. So we're just going to keep an eye on that. We got about 3 minutes till London session starts. So let's go through these other pairs, see what's going on. So it's retesting this level. So you're going to retest the daily. I want to see how it reacts when we retest the daily, or we're going to see if it breaks above that level there. So we're just going to keep an eye on that, because Euro New Zealand is still pumping up until it hit that level. You see that it's rejecting that level still. Even though we do have to keep in mind Euro New Zealand and AD New Zealand were shooting up yesterday, and GBP New Zealand was tanking. So we do have to keep that in mind, which I always say correlating pairs don't always move together. You still need to look at your charts before you just enter a trade. Nobody should blindly enter a trade. But sometimes they don't move the same. Just like, good example, US30, US30, SPX, going the daily time frames, they all look a little bit different. But when you go on the smaller time frames, you can see some similarities. So 80 JPY is right underneath this daily zone. So depending on how it reacts to this level, we could look for a sell setup, because we did catch a nice sell setup on New Zealand JPY as well as GJ. So it makes sense why AED JPY is doing the same thing. Again, just going back to correlating pairs. So we're going to keep an eye on this one as well. And see how price reacts to this level right here. Stop loss, I'll probably put it above this body right here. Give it a little bit of wiggle room. All right, there's good. That's 3 o'clock. Anyone jumping into the stream, we have not entered anything. These are just trade ideas. That's all these are. It's just trade ideas. All right, so that candlestick didn't really even go anywhere. So it's really stuck at this level for now. This new candlestick looks like it's trying to drop right now. So if you can break this wall, it's currently stuck at. It's currently stuck at this wall right here. So if we can break that wall, we can see price come down about 300 pips, 200 pips minimum before reverse. Or if it, depending on how it reacts to that level, we could see it come all the way back down to the daily zone. But if it continues to drop, and if we can break that level, we could potentially catch about 200, 300 pips minimum. So we're just going to keep an eye on that. But it is retesting this level and filling this up. But as you can see, as soon as it's pushing up, it's rejecting down, which is why I have that level marked off. So we're going to go back to that chart in a second. Just want to look and see what the other currency pairs are up to really quick. So that one's still dropping down. Euro New Zealand still dropping. We got a small, well, not let me not say small. There's a lot of levels of traffic here. But AD New Zealand has been bearish for a while. We can clearly see that. But there are some huge levels of traffic to the left that is going to have to break in order to keep dropping down. Because as we can see, every time it hits the 4-hour zone, it's reversed back up, rejected, reattempted, failed. It's always rejected this level as a resistance, which is a good sign. But each day it's failed to break past the 4-hour level. So it's very messy right now. So I might just leave that alone for now. See what else is going down. I don't see that personally. And here's why I say that is it's dropping, but just because it's dropping doesn't mean I'm gonna jump into a sell, because again, we took a buy on this yesterday, so we rode this whole wave up. So it's reversing right now, but the way I trade, I'm not going to just jump into a sell right here, but it is dropping right now. I do acknowledge that, but we rode this entire wave up, so I'm not going to just jump in a sell because we're up in profit on the buy, or we closed after all the TPs got hit. So I'm personally going to stay out of that. So this is respecting the 4-hour level here, which is not a surprise. So we're going to see how the next candlesticks look like, because either going to respect or reject this level. So we're going to see what price decides to do. This is a strong support resistance level, as we can see here. Rejection up, rejection up. Also a strong resistance level, as we can see here. Rejection down. Then we see being treated support level here and support level here. So we're going to see how it reacts to this level of traffic. Let's see if it rejects this level again, or if it can respect it. So we're going to keep an eye on those. You know, we have a lot of news going on later on today for that. We did have some news just go down about an hour ago for the USD. So just waiting and just watching to see what price is trying to do. I'm not trying to jump into anything yet. Been pretty choppy. It was pretty choppy yesterday and today so far. So just going to treat it like any other day. Just patiently wait for the setups. If I'm not sure what price is trying to do, I'm not going to gamble or roll the dice. Just going to stay out of it and just watch the charts or look for a pair that I like setup wise. GN looks like it's respecting the support. I mean, this daily level of support right now, at least. Did the retest after it hit this level that I marked off. We can see price closed underneath it, rejected. So we're going to see how the next candlestick looks like and go from there, because as we can see again, we went for a sell here, broke this level, retested, reattempted, didn't go as far as last time, then it broke back up, shot all the way back up. So we're going to see if it can come back down or if it's going to push up like the other New Zealand pairs were doing yesterday. But we're just 6 minutes into London, so it's really just watching this pair to see what they're trying to do. Have some trade ideas, but nothing's where I want to see it yet. And I can see AUD New Zealand dropping as well. If it can respect this level like it's doing so far, it's just a lot of levels of traffic. So it's really going to have volume help push it down. And sometimes AUD pairs have that, other times it's just really choppy. So that's why I haven't been trading them as much as I used to. So I don't like all that choppiness. So AUD has broken that level. Let me see what GBP is up to. Okay, price is pushing back up. So I'm going to see where this candlestick ends. And if it closes above here, we could potentially see price push back up here. So that's what I'm just waiting to see. If it can respect this level and shows it wants to push back up, we could potentially see it come back to the 4-hour zone. But if it rejects this level and breaks underneath this level of price, then we could potentially see price come down to the daily zone. So it's going to be patiently waiting to see what price is trying to do, because I can't see it going either way. Obviously, on the bigger time frames, we have been very bullish. But again, like I mentioned at the beginning of the stream, we are riding up the imbalance, which is why when we hit the zone, we reject it. Not just because of that imbalance, but because this is a very strong level of support and resistance. We see the last few times price hit here, harsh rejection down, harsh rejection down. So it is natural for price to repeat itself like it always does. But as far as market structure looks, it's still in a uptrend. This can just be a higher low. So still want to see how price reacts to this level and see if it can push back up to this support resistance level, or if it's going to reject this level and come back down to the daily. So that's what we're looking at right now to see what price is trying to do. So I'm going to see how this candlestick ends. Got about 6 minutes left on that one. And as far as the other pairs, everything else is looking very choppy still. This is just still the first 15-minute candlestick. Euro New Zealand is dropping. So let me see what GN's up to. GN's still struggling to break past this level. We see it in real time, still rejecting or reacting off that level. It's on my gold. Yeah, so gold's doing the same thing as the US30 and the indices. So same thing, going to be waiting to see how price reacts to these levels. I don't just jump into things just because the first candlestick's pushing up or pushing down, I like to wait for multiple confirmations of price showing me it's trying to go in that direction. Because how many times have we seen a candlestick push up, the next candlestick shoots down, or vice versa? You don't want to just impulse jump into things. So I am patiently waiting. We have to acknowledge that there's two huge imbalances, one that are going to have to get filled up at some point. But also have to note that gold, until probably right now, was underneath this 4-hour level of support resistance. So just like how all levels of price work, is either going to respect or reject it. So we're just waiting to see how price reacts to this level here. But if it remains choppy, I'm just going to stay out of them until the news comes out and see how price reacts to the news. So I don't have to, I don't have to trade indices every day. I like to. If I really don't see a good setup, I just will stay out of it. Just like yesterday, I stayed out of it. We took a quick scalp buy on the live stream yesterday. Then after that, just stayed out of it. Let it do its thing. But yeah. Still struggling to break that level. GA is still climbing. Looks like it's just retesting this level, trying to continue the staircase up. That's honestly what your AED looks like as well, at least for now. Did dump, but it's on top of this level. So as long as we stay above this level, we can see price push back up. Retracements are normal. But then again, it could retrace back down. But we see stuff like this happen all the time. Like, for example, what's a good example? Trying to find a good example. We see similarities right here. Price retraced back down, but in reality, it just retested the level, then pushed back up. I went over this in one of the classes with the members. I probably will do that again tonight's Zoom call. Just go over things to look at when looking at candlesticks. But yeah, that stuff's pretty normal. I mean, that's what GJ did yesterday as well. Whoops. I guess this wants to be its own thing. There we go. And we see oil react off this level, came back to this level, push back down, and then we saw GJ. There it is. GJ do the same thing. It came down, reversed back up, then dropped back down. Why did it come up here? We just look at the levels here and see why it did what it did, but then it dropped back down. Now, will it always do that? No, but that's where it comes to identifying the levels. And if you're able to identify the levels, then you'll be able to understand what price is doing or what price is trying to do, and also where price is going to be going, whether it's going up or down. You should be knowing where price is going to go before it either rejects or continues to go the direction it's going. So we got 2 minutes left, so going to see how this candlestick closes. Looks like it's going to close above this line right here, this level, which is cool. So we're going to see what the next candlestick looks like, and then go from there. We have small levels of traffic here and here. Again, it's not a coincidence price went this high and then rejected. So we're going to just see how that looks. But again, I'm not going to jump into anything yet. Just going to patiently wait. Let's see here. AD New Zealand. Still chilling. It's underneath this traffic right here. They can break through this. It's just really messy. Shit, really messy. It looks like US30 that one day. It's just really messy, which is why you see it being so choppy. It's respecting this level, which is a good sign, but it's really struggling to break these levels right here. So will it be able to do it during New York session? We'll have to see. But while we're waiting for price to do stuff anyways, we can go ahead and look at, let's look at this real quick. Okay, new 15. So now the candle's red. Let's see what gold looks like. It's red. It's turning green. Yeah, that's one way to word it, like a chainsaw. That's one way to word it. Yeah, sometimes I like that. Sometimes you can see smooth drops. That's why it's important to always look to the left, because the left's going to tell you, the left's going to always explain what's happening in the present, and it's going to tell you what can potentially happen in the future, because price always repeats itself. There's a reason why price reversed right here, rejected this level so many times. There's a reason why price rejected this level, then the same level it rejected when it retested it downwards. You know what I'm saying? There's a reason why, you know, as soon as price hit this blue line, it rejected and turned back up. There's a reason why I did that. You know what I'm saying? There's a reason why price does everything. You just got to know what you're looking at and what to look for. And then once you're able to do that, you just have to patiently wait for price to come to the level of price you're looking for to enter off of. And if you're able to be patient and wait for price to do that, then you have an even higher chance of, one, the trade going your way, and then two, making some money, catching some pips. So all it comes down to, GN is pushing up. New Zealand's pushing up too. Yeah, so there's not a lot of pairs right now that are piquing my interest. It's definitely been a choppy week, but that happens sometimes, especially when we had a huge month last month and a few good weeks. Like, we've just been catching a lot of pips lately. So that is very normal. Price has to correct itself. People are, especially like futures, so people are either taking profits off the huge jump. Because honestly, like, since the market is slow, we got time to talk about this anyways. I went over this with one of the Zoom meetings with the members. But since we got time, you know, might as well talk about it. Like, because you got to understand, like, people aren't just trading Forex with, you know, US30 SPX. People are also investing in it for the long run. So it's obviously been in a downtrend all year. We can clearly see it's been dumping since January, right? But this is also the lowest it's been in 2 years. And look what happened as soon as price hit this level. That thing exploded up, which is not a coincidence. So if people bought right here at 29,300, and let's say the highest it came up to 33,290, like, that's a huge amount of profit people made here. Even with like SPX and other indices, US30 as well, as a huge amount of profit. So people are going to take profits, but also we got to acknowledge the uptrend is not going to go forever, downtrend is not going to go forever also. And then again, we had a whole week, like 2 weeks ago, of it just shooting up. And the week next had a retracement, aka the lower high. And then look, we have the higher high. So this could be a higher low. And then we could potentially see a buy set up here or here. So that's what we're just patiently waiting to see what price does. We do have news going down later on today as well. So we got CHF at 7:30. We got some Euro stuff going on right now. Then at 8 a.m., we got NPC member Ramsden speaking for GDP. Then 8:30, we got the CPI for the USD. And then we got unemployment claims. So this is going to be making some huge spikes happen. I wouldn't be surprised. And then after that, we got the natural gas at 10:30. Then Canada got a governor speaking. Then at 12:30, we got an FOMC member speaking, just like we had one at 2 a.m. Then 2 p.m. At 1:30, we got another person speaking. So this is really going to affect the markets today. Tomorrow, we got holidays, three bank holidays. So yeah, it's going to be very interesting end of the week, at least for the indices and USD pairs. So yeah, we're just going to really just see what's going on. When stuff like that's going on, you don't want to just jump into stuff. You want to, again, it all comes down to patience. Forex comes down to a few things. Yeah, strategy is good, but it doesn't matter what strategy you use. You can use my strategy. You can use another strategy. You can rely on indicators. It doesn't matter what you do. If you don't have patience and proper risk management. Doesn't matter what strategy you use, you're going to be handicapping your success if you don't risk properly and you're impatient. And then, of course, on top of that, if you don't pay attention to the charts, the price is pushing up. New 5 minute just started. So if we can stay with this level, I would like to look for a buy. Mainly because it's still bullish. But we're going to see how price looks. Because yeah, I'm just still waiting to see what price wants to do. I can't possibly see that. Gold's doing the same thing. Reversed off this level that I wanted to see it, how it would react to. Try to break it for an hour, then reverse back up. Now it's back on top of the 4-hour zone level, just like how US30 is. Let's see what Euro USD looks like. Euro USD is right on the daily zone, still struggling to break through it. So I'm going to see what the next candlestick looks like. I want to see how this candlestick closes, of course, and then we're going to see what the next candlestick looks like. Because I've got some slight levels of traffic. But again, if I just don't like what I see, I'm just going to stay out of it. But I'm just looking at those right now because ain't much going on with the currency pairs as of yet. But this is how it was on Wednesday and Tuesday of this week as well. It was pretty slow first hour. Things started to pick up around 5 o'clock, 4 o'clock. So we're going to see. And like I was talking about before, there's a level right here where we can see how price that candlestick ended. It rejected it. Let me just mark it down so y'all see what I'm talking about. We see how price rejected this level and pushed up, and now we see currently price is still struggling to break past that level. Like I said, retracements are normal. Retracements are going to happen, but I wouldn't jump in the sell right now. But again, the main reason why I wasn't going to jump in the sell is because we took a buy. Like, you know what I'm saying? We called this out in the Telegram yesterday. Got 57 pips. Actually, more TPs got hit after that, but you know what I'm saying? We called all these trades in the Telegram. So since when I'm gonna buy, I don't hedge. Even if I see price retrace, I'm not going to only enter off the levels I have marked off. Yeah, same thing with DJ. We took a sell, like I called this out in the Telegram as well. We took a sell on this. We entered at 167.45 yesterday. So we entered all the way up here and the road all the way down here. So we caught this entire wave down. So it could just be finishing the move from yesterday. Could very much so come down to the daily zone. But again, I'm not going to enter off this level. Mainly because I'm already in this. Now I could scale in, but as of now, I'm not going to enter. It's still too early. And GJ, for the most part, doesn't really like to start doing stuff until closer to New York anyways. Yeah, so I'm just going to stay out of that one. Yes, showing is struggling to stay above that level. Then gold's reversing back down. Yeah, it's a very choppy day though. That's how it is sometimes. So I'm not really tripping. Oil looks like it's trying to come back down to this daily zone. Could have sworn I put this right here. So the original move for this was supposed to be a nice 1 to 2, almost 1 to 3. Well, we can just say 1 to 3. Why not? 1 to 3 risk rewards. And that means we're gonna risk $50, made 150. But we entered off of this. So not only did I make double the amount of pips, well, actually more, because again, let's just say I would have closed right here. Notice how when price hit this level, it did the same thing, rejected off of it, came back up. But because again, we went with the direction price is going on the bigger time frames, the daily time frame, and also the overall direction price is going off the daily and 4-hour time frames, I was able to know that price is still bearish. So we re-entered, and now that 1 to 3 is a 1 to 8. So I made a 1 to 3 trade here, secured my profits, re-entered here off the same trade, and now made like 3, almost 4 times off the same trade. Same thing with New Zealand JPY yesterday. Came down, secured my profits like right here. Came right back to our entry, then dropped down. And it came like literally right by our entry. Let me pull it up. This was a members only play. So let me go into the other channel so I can show y'all this trade and the entry on it. So give me 1 second. All right, so to New Zealand JPY. So 86.35 was the original entry. So 86.35 right here. Rolled this entire way down, secured my profits here because I saw, because GJ was reversing up, just going with correlating pairs. Safe to assume the other one was going to do the same thing. Sure enough, it did so. So we know we entered right here. Then it literally came back to this level, then rode the wave down. So literally made twice the amount off the same move. Now, is it going to do this all the time? No. But when you know what you're looking for and what you're looking at, you'll be able to determine when price can and will potentially, again, keyword potentially, do so, because it's not going to do that all the time. So now it looks like US30 is trying to break this level or continue to push up. So we're going to see what the next candlestick looks like. See what goes up to, goes above this level to. Let's see what SPX up to. It's got a wall right here. Let me just mark it off so y'all see what I'm looking at. This is literally the highest price has gone. Every time I hit this wall right here, it's reversed down. How did I find this wall? I just literally looked at it right here. Now my eyes are kind of trained to look at this stuff now because I've been trading like this for a while now, so I just know what to look for. But I'm putting these lines down, these orange lines, so y'all can see what I'm looking at. But as we see here, again, just simple back testing. Every time price hit that level, it's reversed, retested, reversed, retested. So we're going to see if price can break that level, because this pump up is a good sign, but we want to see how price closes. Is it going to close like a wick like it did in the past, or is it going to close as a full green candlestick, or is it going to break above this? So that's a few things we have to note. We do have slight levels of traffic here, but if it can remain bullish even for a short time in the short run, we could potentially catch a few thousand pips, especially since it's US30. So we're going to see what price wants to do. But if it keeps ranging and stuff like that, I'm just going to keep watching and just leave it alone. But if it's showing that it wants to probably go up, could go for potential scalp setup. GNs pushing back down again. So I'm going to see if GN could finish the move it couldn't yesterday. Still not going to enter this yet, though. I want to see it come down here and see how it reacts to this level before we enter. And it's still on top of the daily zone, technically. So just going to leave that alone. Let's get rid of this because we didn't even enter that. See what AD New Zealand is up to. Yeah, that thing is still just taking a nap. So new 15 just popped up. So let's see what this is looking like. So it did close right here, which is a good sign. So if price can break above this level and stay above this level, we can see price. Let me see. We've got some slight levels of traffic. Could see price come up to 32,650, and depending how it reacts to that level, it could come as high as the 4-hour zone, 32,800. So we're gonna see how it reacts to this level here. Goes red. Sure, 30 is above the 4-hour zone as well. So this thing just broke above the zone as well. Your price is showing it wants to push up. Gold's dropping down though. Euro USD just dropped down too. Euro USD just broke past that level I was looking at. So Euro USD is still trying to drop, which is interesting. It's dropping as well. Yeah, JPY looks like it's still trying to dump down. Yo, JPY looks like it's pushing down too. I wonder if it's going to break down past this level, because again, just simple back testing, we see price hasn't really broken this level in a while. Every time it's hit this level, it's reversed back up. So I'm not going to enter that. But I am looking at the correlating pairs for possible entry. Okay, still doing that. Okay, so GN's under the daily zone now. So I'm going to be paying attention to GN now. I want to see how Euro USD closes, because we do have some slight levels of traffic here. But if the other USD pairs continue to dump down, very likely this will drop down as well, and we could probably jump in on this. So let's go back to US30. So US30 is trying again. Sure, 30 is pushing up. Yeah, so this is really trying to push up. So let me see some. Whoops. Meant to go on the 4-hour. Nice rejection wick up. Got 2 hours left on that. Looks like it's trying to do it. Gold's under that level. It's pushing up. All right, cool. So that's a nice little drop. So I want to see how it reacts to these levels. Then we could try to see what's going to complete the move that started yesterday. So we're going to see. Still waiting for this to drop down a little bit more though before I enter. Let's go back to US30. It's definitely trying. New 5 minute just started. Let's see what's going to do it on this 5 minute. Built a nice little wall up. So if we can stay on top of this level, we can clearly see how this is a support level here. So if we can stay on top of this level, we can potentially catch some pips. So they're going to respect or reject this level. It's pushing above it as of now. This right here is a good sign. They just end the cycle of rejecting. So I do kind of like how this is looking. Still going to wait though, because price is really choppy right now. So I don't know if it's going to go for the long term, but I can see a potential short term play here, depending on how price reacts to this level. So let me see what price does. Here USD looks like it's still trying to drop down. So my screen just froze on me. There it goes. Yeah, I do like this right here. Still waiting though. I want to see how it ends up, but this is a good sign right here. I want to see it come up to 4-hour level though. I'm gonna see how this closes. Now, will it go zone to zone? We can only tell that by going, taking things candlestick by candlestick. But I can see where it can potentially go. So that's what we're going to be looking at. GA pushing up. So I want to see price break past these levels before I enter GN. But it is a good sign it rejected that level and it did just break underneath. So I'm going to see what the next candlestick looks like for that. GBPJPY, still just watching it. I'm going to jump in anything as of yet. This is still underneath the 4-hour zone. So until it really breaks that, I can see price still trying to head down to the daily level. I don't be surprised. We're catching some buys up, but as you can see here, ever since hit that level, it's just rejected down. Came back on the strong support resistance level that we can see right here. Then after it hit that level, price reversed back up, hit this daily level and rejected back down. So just looking at how price is moving, I'd like to see it come down to this daily zone again. Then possibly we could look for buy setup here or a sell setup depending on how it reacts to this level. But as of now, we can see even on the daily zone, the daily time frame is retested this 4-hour level that we can clearly see here. Strong resistance, harsh rejection down. Got this nice wall here, resistance level, support level. So it's only natural that it's reacting as a resistance level after it broke underneath it. Because again, when we go on the smaller time frame, we can see price broke underneath it. Let me zoom in for y'all. We can see how price broke underneath it. There we go. Broke underneath it, retested, then broke back above it, treat the same level as a support level after just treated as a resistance level, then broke back underneath it, then dropped down, and then we currently see it being still respected as a resistance level. So let's go back to US30 real quick. Price just broke above that, which is slightly good sign for us. So we got 4 minutes till the next 15. So we're going to see what this 15 does. And if it shows it wants to continue to pump, we could go for a quick scalp to the upside. So we're going to be looking for that. Gold still struggling a little bit. Euro USD rejected up. Again, not a coincidence. Like I said, correlating pairs. We see US30 pushing up. Euro USD rejecting up at the same time. We saw when US30 was dumping. Euro USD was doing the same thing. So it did just break above this level, which is a good sign here. Which is a good sign. Let's see what these other pairs are up to. SPX is above the 4-hour level as well. So the next candlestick remains to pump up and go for a scalp. Now again, it's very choppy and we do have a bunch of news going on. So will this be a long-term play like usual? Can't tell you that. Can't say that with 100% confidence. But as of now, I can see price potentially burst up and we can catch up some few pips. Now again, repeat that. I don't know if it's going to be a long-term play like usual. Most of the trades we take, we hold London into New York session. But with all the stuff going on this week, I can't tell you 100% if it's going to continue to go this way all day. But as of now, it is showing, as long as it's going to stay on top of this level, which is showing, that we can jump in this for the short term. So we got 2 minutes left. Gold's pushing up as well. So we want to see what this does. So I just put in the free Telegram my disclaimer explaining some stuff that's common sense, but also a little bit how my strategy works. So make sure to read that. Let's see here. Yeah, but I do like this. It's already pushing up. So I might enter this. I want to wait for the next candlestick though, but I do like how these are looking. All right. SL. It looks like it's going to try to push up. SL. We say 2,500. Yeah, I like how this is looking. I want to see if it's going to retrace a little bit. But if it starts to shoot up, I'm going to enter. So while it's retracing, let me get the SL and just set up for this. So for this one, I'm looking at SL, like we can say 37.45. All right, so it's retesting the level it just broke above. So as long as it can respect this as a support level, we want to see it retest. That's normal. But we want to see it respect that level as a support level. So a retest is good. That's just going to give us a better entry. So let me just go look at GN real quick. Cool. GBPJPY. Cool. All right. So it's retesting, which gives us one more pips to secure. So we're going to see what this does in a second. So we got a nice wall here, and we can clearly see how this is a support resistance level in a smaller time frame. So as long as they can respect this level, we can see price come at least at 32 650, 32 660. So we want to see how it reacts off this retest here, and then we're going to go from there. See what gold's up to. Gold's still chilling right here at the 4-hour zone. Let's go to SPX. Cool. Yeah, so we're just gonna keep that right there. GJ. All these still doing that thing. All right, so we're just gonna look at the indices for now because nothing else is really going down right now. So I'm gonna see what this looks like. And we could have entered right here and we'd be up right now. But again, just because all this stuff going on today, just want to be extra safe with my entries because we are up for the week. There's no point in rushing into trades, rushing to throw our money in the markets. So oil looks like it's still trying to push down to the next daily zone, which is great. Gold still trying to make its mind up. Euro USD retest that low and looks like it's trying to drop back down, which is interesting. I mean, that's what US30 is doing right now as well, though. Let's see what GN's doing. Cool. Whoops, one on the 4-hour. Nice little staircase down. Some new 5-minute just popped up. So we're just going to wait and see how it reacts to this level. And while we do that, we're just going to look at some other pairs. But yeah, I already kind of saw this coming. Because again, we had some huge weeks. We had a huge month last month, huge past couple of weeks. Even Monday and Tuesday was pretty good, NDC and currency pair wise. That thing dropped down. So not surprised there. GBP pairs are pumping up. JPY is trying to come back down to that level. Yiddy CAD. EuroCAD did dump. And Euro USD is looking nice. So I'm going to keep an eye on this one as well. Did break past this level, so is that a good entry? It is on a strong, it is on a strong support resistance level as of now. So we're going to see how it reacts to this level. Let me fix this. Go from there. We haven't been this low in a while. So we're going to see how price reacts to that. Go from there. So we have 3 minutes to the next 5 minute. So we'll see how price reacts. Looks like it's respecting this level so far. But we're going to see. So this just came back to right here. So I kind of like how Euro USD is looking. Now, Euro USD is looking like a nice sell setup. Will it go zone to zone is one. That's another question. But it's currently the reason why it's struggling. We can see a slight little wall right here, which is causing the struggle. We can also see the past couple of days rejection wick right off that wall. Then this candlestick did the same thing. So it makes sense. But the other USD pairs continue to dump. I can't see this finishing the move. It did do a retest. It did break through this level, the last candlestick, but it did reject and close above this level. But it is dropping past this level again, and it has gone a little bit further. So let's go into 5 minute real quick. Yeah, I do like how this is looking. I like how this is looking. So I'm gonna look at this for a second. So it closes underneath here. I might pay more attention to that. See what these are up to. She rejected that level. JPY is still in the daily zone. I'm staying out of that until I see some different candlestick formations. Using JPY. Looks like it's trying to dump some more. Yeah, so I'm just going to patiently wait. Just going to patiently wait. See what the next candlestick does. We've got 5 minutes. New 5 minute. Did it just start? Do keep that in mind. New 5 minute did just start. Yep, so it looks like it's going to be a repeat of yesterday. Really just been choppy. But that's just the reality of trading. Not every day is going to be full of volume, full of pump. You're not going to be able to jump into trades first hour and all the time, which is why you have to have patience, because if you think that's how it's supposed to be and you just try to jump in stuff because you're getting impatient of waiting, you're going to make mistakes. So I'd rather jump in a trade that I have a lot of confidence in the direction it's going than just jumping in stuff because it's taking longer than yesterday to get into trades or something like that. But I do like how your USD is looking. I'm not gonna lie. Still keeping an eye on this. So I'm gonna see what these next candlesticks look like. And then we're gonna go from there. I'm gonna see what the next candlestick look like, see if we can jump in anything. But it's still just ranging like this. I'm just gonna keep monitoring the charts. And then if I do enter something, y'all get notified in the Telegram. So make sure to click that first link in the description. But as of now, just watching the charts. Not jumping into anything yet. Probably gonna update my levels too. This looks like I need to update my levels a little bit. So I'll probably do that after the stream as well. So we got 2 minutes to the next 15, and the next 5-minute pops up. Price is currently on this. I mean, it's on top of this level still. So let's see what the next candlestick looks like. As we see, that current candlestick really didn't do much. Same thing with the AUD CAD setup. Still respecting this level, as you can see. So I'm gonna see what the next candlestick looks like. See if we can jump into something. Here's the thing dropping now. So let's see what this next candlestick look like. All right, next candlestick turned green. Let's see what it do. Let's see what it do. Euro USD is trying to drop. So it stayed underneath that level. Do you like how this is looking? Shows at 30. Let me see what US30 is up to. This is trying to push up though. Your USD is trying to dump though. Let's see, so I think it's standing this level and break this level. We can catch about 20-ish pips on this. If it does continue to dump, it did stay underneath this level and is pushing. Yeah, so I'm gonna enter this one. So SL I got for Euro USD is 1.0030. Just to get price and wiggle room. I'm gonna type the TPs and stuff in the free Telegram. But yeah, I like how this is looking, so I'm gonna enter this. I'm gonna put the TPs and stuff in the Telegram. Yeah, I'm already slightly blue. But I'm going to put the TP and stuff in the Telegram. So as long as it can stay underneath this level, it can break this level of traffic, and it could come down to here around 99.70, 99.65. Now, depending on how it reacts to that level, it could reverse back up because we do have a slight little space here and a wall. But it's already dumping. I'm already blue. Let me do that. And then let me put the TPs and stuff. But I'm already up like 4 or 5-ish pips. Yeah, this stuff's dropping as well. At least as of now, but it could still push back up. But let's see what happens. I just like how this looks right here. So yeah, I'm gonna figure out these TPs in a second. Yeah, so we're gonna see how it does. If my computer stops freezing, shit, there we go. Let's see, got a nice level of traffic there. But it is attempting currently to dump. But as you can see here, looking to the left, it is currently on top of this level, but it is underneath these levels of traffic as well. So now it just comes down to volume, what direction it wants to pump. So I'm going to see how this candlestick ends. And then go from there. Obviously, like I said, if y'all don't see what I see, you don't have to enter. I'm just personally entering this. And make sure to read the disclaimer about how the TPs work and all that. And of course, don't over leverage. It is a small stop loss. This is about like a 50 pip stop loss. So it's not too crazy. But of course, I'm not, risking half my account on this trade. And the markets are pretty choppy. So we're going to see if we can catch some pips. Again, I don't know if it's going to hit every TP, but I can see as long as it can stay underneath this level, price potentially keep dropping, doing this thing. So I'm going to see if we can stay underneath this level. US30 dropping back down, rejected that level. Expecting this level currently. So we're going to see how these candlesticks end, and then what the next candlesticks do. But everything is dropping as of now. So since everything's dropping, we're going to try to catch the wave this pair, because this is just a nice setup too. It already did a nice drop here, did a nice retest, then it closed underneath this level. Already did the retest here. So as long as it can close underneath this small level of traffic here, which coincidentally it touched and rejected off of, we can catch some pips. So we're just gonna let price do its thing for now. Just gonna let that marinate. Again, it's a pretty small stop loss. So we're just gonna let price do that thing, see what it does from there. I still want to look for a buy setup on the indices. It is respecting this level so far. So going to see how it does going into New York session, but we do have red folder news all New York session with it. So if I don't see anything like in the next hour, I'm honestly just going to leave the charts alone until that news comes out. And then if I like the setup or not, when that news comes out, then I'll enter. But if I don't like the setup, I'm just going to leave the indices and stuff alone, because these next couple of days are going to be pretty nasty looking. So yeah, that's how I'm going to be going about today. Just looking to see what these other pairs are up to. Yeah, but nothing else is really showing me anything. So yeah, this is the only pair I'm going to be in. I'm going to see how this goes. Going to be watching the indices, but literally nothing else is either at a good entry for me or I don't like the setup. So this is the only pair I'm going to be running for right now. Then we're just going to go from there. Price is turning green on us, so that's going to affect that. Price is respecting this level here. Yeah, so I'm going to see how US30 reacts to this level here. I'm going to see how price reacts. Yeah, it's reacting off that level, which is normal. I want to see it break that level though. But US30 is pushing up again as well. SPX is pushing up. New 5 minute just started. Let's see how that look like. Yeah, so I'm just going to keep an eye on these. I do like how this is looking though. So this is going to affect you, Euro USD a little bit. So I'm going to see how it affects that. But this is respecting this low and it is pushing up. So we could go for a possible scalp setup off your US30. Let's see what SPX is looking like. So we can see a possible scalp setup. So this might affect Euro USD a little bit. But we're going to see if we can catch some pips on this as well. But I do like how this is looking right here. Yeah, so I'm going to keep an eye on these. But don't be surprised if I do or do not call an entry out on these. But I am looking at these. But again, if it just keeps ranging, I'm just going to stay out of it. Going to be paying attention to GN still, as well as the JPY pairs. I was looking for a sell setup, but it's currently rejecting the level and pushing back up. So just going to let that do its thing and just watch it, see how it reacts to that level and what it decides to do. Going to be looking at AED JPY still, but as you can see, still just ranging. Was looking at AED New Zealand, but again, a lot of things are just ranging. So don't be surprised if I do call some things out later on in New York, or if I don't. It just depends on if I like what I see. But if I really don't like what I see, if I'm not sure what it's trying to do, I am just going to stay at the markets. Done it before. I have no problem doing it again. But I am going to be watching the charts to see if we can find something. But we do have to keep in mind all the stuff going down today. So I'm just going to go from there. Yeah, so it was a pretty slow day compared to the past couple weeks, but that's just how trading is. So I'm going to see you on tomorrow's live stream. How's tomorrow going to look? I might still stream tomorrow just to see what's going down, but we got a lot of stuff going on tomorrow as well. So this chopping and stuff like that, again, I might just chill tomorrow as well. So we're going to see. We do have like 3 holidays going down tomorrow, though. So I am probably going to stay out of shit like everything. So I might not even trade tomorrow. We'll see. Because we got a GDP red folder news right before London. Then we got a French holiday all day, US holiday all day, and a Canadian holiday all day. Then we got an orange folder at 5 a.m. for the euro. Then at 10 a.m. we got red folder news. So I might look at the red folder news, see if I can catch something there. So I might still stream tomorrow for the London session just to look and see what's going on. But I'm not going to force any trades if I don't see anything. So we got a new 15. So is it going to try to break this level? It looks like it might try to break this level. And this is affecting our Euro USD sell. But honestly, as long as it doesn't hit stop loss and it still rejects this level as a resistance level, it can later on come back down. So I'm not tripping too much on that. Let's see here. 32.88. I do like how this is looking. So I might go for scalp setup on this. We're gonna see though. I'm gonna see what it looks like. We're gonna see. The thing is, we're attempting to push up. Yeah, so we're gonna see how this do. But I'm gonna see y'all in tomorrow's live stream. If I change my mind about streaming tomorrow, I'll let y'all know. I'm dropping a video tomorrow today. Be on the lookout for that video. It's gonna be a trade breakdown from our US30 buy that we took earlier this week. It's gonna be this buy right here, where we caught 53,000 pips or 51,000 pips. So be on the lookout for that. I'm also gonna be dropping a gold and SPX breakdown when we caught this 5,000 pip move on SPX, and then the 5,000 pip move that we caught on gold earlier this week was this move right here. So I'm going to be dropping these breakdowns this week and this weekend. So be on the lookout for those. But for now, we're just going to let these charts marinate and do their things. So Euro USD is pushing back down naturally because US30 started to reject back down. So we're going to see if we can hit the first couple TPs and secure some profits going into London. Like I said before, read that disclaimer I posted. Not every TP is guaranteed to get hit, but we're going to see if we can catch some pips, at least about 10, 20 pips to start off the morning. Going to be still paying attention to the indices, but for now, they're still just ranging, as we can see. So until it starts to try to move somewhere, just going to stay out of them. See y'all tomorrow.